And it's me, I'm back again with another exciting episode for you on Mad Dog VFX. So today let's take a quick look at the attract node. I kind of like this node. I've heard a lot of criticism of it, but I quite like it. So let's take a quick look at some of the pros and cons of this one. So I'm just going to go back into my pop network. Let's take a look at what we've got here. Okay, and we remember that we had this velocity that was coming out to the side here. You know what, I think I might make this slightly bigger. In fact, let's go back to, there we go, let's try that for this one. All right, now of course we can remember that this was just the velocity that was making the difference if you watched the previous lesson. So let's create this down to 0. And the variance is already at 0, so now we should just fill the box. Yeah, there we go. So let's take a quick look at this attract node. Let's add this in. Pop attract. All right. And one thing you'll notice right from the beginning is something happening. All right, you can see all the points are going into the center there. Let's reduce, I think, the amount of points. Let's make this maybe just 40. Alright, so you can see that the points all go into the middle and then they kind of bounce around a little bit. So let's make this a bit more obvious, and I'm going to go back into this and we see this goal. So this is the position, let me have a look there, yep, this is the position in which will be the attractor. So let me move this into fourth position, into 4 meters, and open this so I can see on my axis this is where my attraction point is. Let's go through this and we can see it goes to that point, but then it overshoots and it starts to come back on itself and you get this quite a strange pattern. Okay, now I would have thought in reality that it would have stopped here, but it doesn't. However, I still kind of like it. It's kind of like a flock of birds or something you could imagine at the beginning. Maybe something like that. However, there is this constraint with it, this flaw, this problem with it, which is where it tends to overshoot. And I haven't been able to find a solution to that, although, again, maybe somebody can comment on this. However, there is something I quite like about this, and this is where I can animate this this goal position here. So let's do that a minute. So let's, first of all, I want to, here I think I will create a keyframe. So I'm holding my Alt key or Option key, and I just hit, oh, there we go, and I just click and these little green marks come up, which means that a keyframe has been added. And if I go to my timeline, I can see there's something here, right? So let's go forward to maybe 96, and I want to move this. Let's move this over here. All right, and again, Alt click. All right, and then I'm going to go maybe here. And I'm going to move it now. Where should we go? We'll go over here. Happy days. All right. And again, click. And then I'm going to go to the end, 240. And I think I'll just make this the same that we began with. All right. And again, click. There we go. And so now I've got this kind of animation here from this. And in fact, maybe I can, actually I can't see that. When I seem to play it doesn't seem to work so well. But now I've got this animation, right? And I can see, kind of move, oh, maybe I can see it, hold on. Let me go into here. I want to go birth at 0. Let's see if I can now see it moving. Yeah, okay, it does work. So I can see where my goal is going to. It's moving round and then it goes back to the beginning and off we go again, right? So this time let's add our points to this, and let me go back here, constant birth rate, and let's make that 40 like we had before, and let's see what happens. Okay, so now it's following this attractor, and I can see that it's kind of spilling these things all over the place. It's trying its best to catch up and it just can't do it, right? Alright, let's try and speed this up a little bit. If I go to force and I'm going to go to, I think force scale should do it. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. It's much faster now. And I can see now I'm getting this swirling effect, which is kind of cool. It's kind of an interesting shape. And, you know, it could be used for some kind of magical effects or something like this where it's spinning around the attractor. But as you see, it never really stops on the attractor. But yeah, I kind of like that. So again, it's one that you can play around with. Some people really like it, some people don't. Depends on what you need it for. I kind of like it. It's a bit random, a bit abstract, but it's certainly very hard to control. Alright, so anyway, hope that was useful, and you guys have a great day.